Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. So Cappies, coffee with Cappy. Caps. I'm gonna give it to you straight here. And I know that my Capricorns will appreciate this. Um I've been you know right. You know you're one of my favorite signs to read for. I don't make a secret of it. I love Capricorn energy. And yeah, I've been dreading doing your reading and I have been getting uncomfortable intuitive stuff coming through. Again, you do have Pluto retrograde in your chart. I think I think it's going backwards into like October, and there's Saturn going retrograde as well. And Capricorns, you're ruled by Saturn, so these two big heavy planets that are connected to your sign are in backwards motion or appearing to be in backwards motion, which brings things up from the past or brings things up that need to be dealt with. Pluto is a really heavy energy because it is connected to kind of scorpionic energy as well, and that kind of like death energy, which can be very, very difficult to experience and process. But again, everything is here to help us learn and grow. And Saturn, your ruling planet, is all about tough love. I always think it's like the tough love dad planet. So if you imagine all the things that would be connected with a very stoic father, that's kind of what Saturn is about. So I don't think you have much to worry about with Saturn retrograde. It does depend on which house it's in, and it does depend on how hard you've been working. So I'm getting this thing about some of you being afraid of your own shadow, like your own shadow side. And perhaps those of you who haven't done shadow work and haven't integrated that to get to golden shadow energy, I think you're going to have a slightly rougher time than those who have been working on themselves and really addressing kind of like their ego issues. And it's like, if you imagine, I don't know, it's like this sense of like almost like guilt for certain parts of yourself. Like, I'm getting this energy of like Capricorns. Some of you are almost like perfectionists or like idealists in some sort of way. It's like, I'm hearing hold people accountable, but it's like you also apply those same values to yourself. So if you expect the best from others, you're also expecting yourself to be even better than that. And nobody's perfect. And a lot of the things where you fail, so you know, the parts of yourself that make you human and fallible, that we all have, really having a lot of guilt over that, or really trying to pretend that that's not part of who you are. It's almost like wearing this face, like fake mask, or like this ego of like presenting who you want to be to the world. I always call it like the insta lie, right? The parts of ourselves that we present to the world and the parts of ourselves that we hide. And those parts of yourself that you hide are really coming through with this almost like the devil is your shadow energy, like and running from that and being scared of that. So I don't know if this is like stuff from your past or just stuff that you've done that you feel guilty about, or stuff that you want to do that you feel guilty about, but it's got this kind of like I'm the bad guy energy to it, which I think isn't necessarily true. It's just, have you or haven't you integrated your shadow? Excuse me. So if you don't know what shadow work is, you can Google that. That's Freud. No, it's not Freud. It's Carl Jung. Sorry. Okay. So what else do I have for you? Others of you, and I'm going to be honest, I am getting heavy energy in your reading. There could be a lot of grief and feelings of loss. So things that you could have had but don't have, or things that you had but no longer have, and opportunities that you've missed. I don't know if some of you have seen death and illness firsthand recently, and you're very affected by that. You may have almost like a bit of PTSD from it, you know, like it's almost like afraid to revisit that in your mind, or afraid to deal with the emotions. But it's really important that you do, right? It's in your own time and with assistance if you need assistance. But it's like, don't be scared of revisiting that moment and being sad about it, right? And feeling the grief and letting it flow through you, because bottling it up isn't going to be good. So if you need help to do that, please do it. It's not going to be for everybody. What else do we have here? So I've got all my notes on my phone. I heard the line, I was getting intuitive words, like words of wisdom coming through. We are not our weaknesses, we are our strengths. So stop defining yourself by your weaknesses and start defining yourself by your strengths, okay? And this, again, it may be that you present your strengths to the world, and you beat yourself up about your weaknesses, but it's like, stop focusing so much on the things that you can't do or didn't do, and focus on the things that you can do and have done, is the message of that. Scared of Own Shadow, the song Colours by Halsey, Pluto, Saturn, Tough Love, I've talked about that. Expecting yourself to be perfect. What's this? Self-Sabotage, running from what you want most, maybe don't. So maybe don't, it's a song by JP Saxe and Maisie Peters. No, it's not. Maisie Williams. I don't know. It'll be in the description box down below. So yeah, self-sabotage. So getting really close to something, like something that you want, or achieving something, and then like self-sabotaging, because it's like, to do that thing or to be that person, you would have to really be pushing those ideals, right? You'd really have to be like perfect Capricorn, and understanding that perfection's not actually possible. And you can get close to a perfection, but perfection is a lie, because there's no such thing as perfect. It's not a real concept. So it's like having these high ideals and trying to meet those expectations yourself, but understanding that you can't, and then self-sabotaging from something that you want, because you've built up an impossible, an impossible goal, or an impossible, it's like, you can have it, it is yours, you do deserve it, but then like your own shadow kind of berating you or telling you that you don't deserve it, or somebody else would be better at doing this, and like not listening to that. And again, defining yourself by your strengths and not your weaknesses, and turning weaknesses into strengths as well. So it's like, okay, so I didn't know how to do that thing, but I had the resilience and the patience and the drive to learn to do it better. That was an opportunity for growth. So growth mindset could be really important to somebody right now. What else do I have for you? Just checking my notes. Everything's Changed by Taylor Swift. I was getting told that's almost like the key to your heart. So listen to that song. Could be something about it that's really, it's like the angels are talking to you. Really nice video as well to that song. Why would you throw a diamond away? So I was getting, after this feeling of grief, and I was seeing my own cat when she kind of keeled over onto the floor, and this was like how the messages were coming through to me. But then I really focused on like bright light energy, and I started to see like a white gold shining light that keeps coming through, and it kind of crystallized into what looked like a diamond or a teardrop. So if you imagine like the refraction of light, so this, like, I'm going to say it was a diamond, but it could have been like a teardrop or anything with that kind of refracting light quality, and it was small and round. I did get the impression it was part of a very pretty, very traditional looking ring, like a gold band with a diamond, but the diamond was what I was really focused on, and it was almost as though someone had a diamond and like they threw it in the trash, or like threw it in the ocean, or like, but I was really getting like having this diamond and throwing it in the trash, and this message of why would you throw a diamond away. So again, it's got this metaphor perhaps of having something that you treasure, or having something that is worth a lot of money or has a lot of value to you. It doesn't even have to be like an expensive thing, but it has value to you, and it's like, they're telling me like perfect clarity, which is like a diamond thing, right? It's like perfectly clear, but throwing it away. And again, it's almost like this self-sabotage, or this like impulsive moment, and then beating yourself up over it. It's like, why did I throw that thing away? Why did I miss that opportunity? Something like that. This came through as I started to make the notes on my phone. It was 2323, which is 1111, and yeah, a diamond, you threw it away. So I heard you threw it away. You threw it away. What else did I get through? Somebody could have a broken zip on a jacket, specifically a leather jacket, but it's like buying a jacket and it's got a broken zip, or like trying to buy a jacket with a broken zip. I don't know. And something with somebody's ribs. Somebody could have a broken rib or a sore rib. Okay, so Caps, not the best start in terms of intuitive messages and the feeling that I'm getting from your energy. I'm not seeing it. Again, I'm not seeing, if I think about like the Capricorns I know, I'm not necessarily seeing this. But again, it could be something that's inner and part of the shadow that's been hidden, and kind of putting on a brave face. Oh, I heard that as well, and I didn't make a note of it. It was like, I even said it to someone, I didn't make a note of it. It's this energy of, I can't even be bothered putting on a brave face anymore. I don't even care enough to put on a brave face anymore. You know, like people say putting on a brave face. It's like it's like feeling that fed up that you can't even be bothered pretending to be happy, is the way it was coming through for some of you. So right, okay, I'm gonna drink my coffee a little bit more. I'm gonna just retune, cleanse, and we'll see what comes out in the cards. Back with you in a second. All right, so tuning in, I'm getting messages that the universe does love you. You are protected. Your ancestors are around you, even if you're going through tough times in like the 3D. Like those higher energies are here for you. I have a message, but they're showing me a specific card. So if a specific card comes out, I'll give you this other message. And yeah, just going back to Saturn in retrograde. So Saturn rewards hard work. So if you've really worked hard for something, if you've put in the time to develop your skills, you know, Saturn will reward you for that. If you've been slacking, if you've been procrastinating, Saturn's going to kind of kick you in the butt about those things. So anything that you've been putting off that's kind of, you know, task-based, get those jobs done now before Saturn goes in reverse, because if you do it now, you're going to have an easier ride with Saturn in retrograde. That's also a message to myself. But I tried to do it in Mercury retrograde and things were not happening. So yeah, now's the time to do it. Now's the time to kind of get those jobs done is the message. Don't procrastinate. Okay, so Capricorns, my lovely, lovely Capricorns who I really want to be happy. One of my secret favourite signs. Don't tell the others. Caps for Thursday. Okay, so you've got the Two of Cups, the Seven of Cups. Somebody else has something like that. It's like choosing the Two of Cups. And I think that's Temperance. What else do we have, please? What else do we have, please? I think you've got an extra card note. Ace of Pentacles and Six of Wands. Success and an offer after a period of patience. Feels like having a lot of options. It feels like you might have multiple Two of Cups. And this, I think, is this the Sun or the Lover's card? Let me just double check that one. Where's my leaflet? So 21. I'm getting What's Past is Past from that Taylor Swift song. The world is the world, completion and fulfillment. Soon you will be faced with a series of favourable circumstances that may finally make your dream come true, fulfilling all your hopes and aspirations. Yeah, so don't self-sabotage. So completing something, it's like finally getting the last piece of the picture, right? Finally things slotting into place to have some kind of completion. Okay, I am not super familiar with this deck. I'm using the Law of Attraction Tarot. Perhaps some of you are really into the Law of Attraction. I don't use this deck very often, so I'm not super familiar with it. But that's also kind of good because it means that my intuition can work a little bit more. It's like I don't already have messages attached to the images. I'm glad that some of the more difficult cards that I was seeing are not coming out for you, so that's good. So there's an ocean in this crystal ball. Perhaps some of you do scry, or perhaps some of you use a crystal ball or mirrors or reflective surfaces to kind of visualize things. So the Two of Cups is a card about a soulmate connection, or somebody who is in the upright. It's a positive soulmate connection. So it's like a best friend, or somebody who kind of gets you on a they just get you, right? You just understand each other, you just get each other. You could be very, very different, because this is yin yang, right? So it's like two people, almost like opposites attract, right? Or I was getting this message again. It came through for somebody else, I can't remember who, but it was like the light and the dark almost cancelling each other out, or neutralizing, that's a better word, I'm getting told, neutralizing each other. So it's almost like somebody who compliments you in a way where they bring you your kind of wildest side kind of back to the center line in a way. It's like it's a balancing. So it's like, say for example, you were a bit of a homebody, right? You really like being in your house, you don't really want to go out, you kind of, you know, steady and dependable, and your Two of Cups is this friend who's kind of really wild and restless, but really fun. It's like they could get you out of the house more, and you could get them to settle down. It's like you could have a balancing effect on each other. So yeah, a kind of opposites attract, but like somebody who just gets you, right? Somebody who really compliments you. It's like they're the, I always think salt and pepper is a weird one, but like they're the salt to your pepper, or they're the they're the, I can't think of a good example. I can't think of a good example that's not like a weird saying that doesn't make sense. But it's like neutralizing. So it's like alkaline and acidic, right? And neutralizing that. And then it's in this ball. So you see how this is almost like a wave coming in? Like it's in here. So it's like intuitively knowing that you have these big emotions, like this big emotional wave connected to this person, or you've got a lot of two. It could be that you've got a lot of Two of Cups relationships, like you've got several Two of Cups relationships in your life, which people do, right? It's not a soulmate in terms of like, this is my person, this is my forever person. That'd be more like the Lovers card. This could be like friends, family, lots of different people. So having those Two of Cups connections, but this wave coming in with it. So the Seven of Cups literally means like options. So having different people to choose from. It can be very overwhelming though, because it can be like too much choice. So you could be experiencing that as well. So Temperance, taking things slowly, being balanced, maintaining your equilibrium through it. It almost feels like the wave coming in though, visually with the pictures. Sorry, there is a naked lady on this card, so yeah. It's almost like the wave coming in and feeling it. So I had this metaphor for you a long time ago about some of you being really, really hurt and being very closed off. And it comes through this metaphor of a cave. So the cave was like a dark, cold cave, which is when cat peas go cold. And almost being emotionless, right? Almost being like, it's like maybe numb to feeling things. Again, perhaps because you've experienced something that was very, very traumatic in some sort of way. It's like suddenly finding yourself almost emotionally numb. And then it was like this thing about like the water dripping back in because perhaps of these connections in your life. So it's like the water coming back into the emotions, coming back into your heart, right? And feeling really good, I want to say, like embracing that, but just dipping your feet in the water, because you don't want to get overwhelmed by these emotions, right? Especially if you've been quite closed off to your heart for a long time, really opening it up. It's like opening the floodgates, right? If you open the floodgates and all that water rushed in at once, it could be very destructive or overwhelming. So yeah, taking it slowly. And then this Six of Cups, which is a card about success, celebration, people cheering you on, achieving something. It feels like it's because you've worked very hard. Again, it's almost like the Knight of Pentacles, because he's harvesting the crops. So it could be something about like the right time to have some success. But yeah, he's working hard to have this success, which is a very Capricorn energy. And then a new offer or a new opportunity coming in. So this is the Ace of Pentacles, which is like a real practical thing. It's something new. It's something valuable to you, and it can go somewhere, right? It's the new seed to be planted. So reaping what you've sown in some sort of way, and then having a new seed to plant. It's like getting all the crops out of the field, and then, right, what crop do I plant this year? Let's plant something new this year. That kind of energy. And then this, I'm not sure which one this is. I don't know if it's like the Caduceus or the other one. One of them is associated with, I think, Hermes, is it the messenger god, or Apollo? Do you know, I've got a specialism in classics as part of my degree, and these things just, I've got such a bad memory. So one of the gods has the Caduceus, which is a symbol of leadership, and the other god that has this is Asclepius, who's the god of healing, and it depends on if it's got one snake or two snakes. So I'm not quite sure which one this is. One of them is the staff of healing, one is the staff of leadership. I want to say leadership because of the eagle wings, and it's got a myth attached to it, which is what the snakes are about. But it's this thing that I've been talking about a lot recently as well, about snakes being a symbol of rebirth and regeneration, right? They shed the skin, they come out bigger and stronger than they were before. There's a bit of, like when the butterfly comes out of the chrysalis, there's a moment of vulnerability as they go through the transformation process, but they very, very quickly kind of toughen up again and come out stronger. So it's like understanding that your experiences help you to grow, and you can have sometimes a painful transition as you grow and as you achieve new things, right? And as you shed the past, which is symbolized by that crusty old skin, right? And also this idea that what doesn't kill you can make you stronger, or turning the pain or the venom into the medicine, or the it's like, again, with this yin yang, it's like the venom of the snake, it can poison you, it can be toxic, or you can milk the snake and turn that into the anti-venom, which can heal you. So it's like two sides of the same coin almost, like things not being black and white, but things being almost like the middle ground of the balance between the two. Like, it's like for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction, right? And understanding that this is the way the universe works, which could be talking about the world and the completion. Oh my god, there's a butterfly as well. Look. So transforming, having this rebirth. Again, it can be very painful to do this. The butterfly, the caterpillar, completely breaks down on like a molecular level inside that chrysalis to have this transformation. So completing some kind of period of transformation. What card is this? This must be the Judgment card, I would assume. I don't know the numbers. So completing something and having a rebirth is the message of the underlying there, absolutely. Oh, it's death. So this is the death card. What a beautiful death card. Change. Be willing to change your mentality and your habits in order to make your dream come true. If one road leads to nowhere, take another one. If one road leads to nowhere, take another one. So it could be in terms of relationships. So it's okay. That's one of the most beautiful death cards I think I've ever seen. You know, really being a symbol for change and transformation. And I was reading it as the Judgment card, and the Judgment card is a rebirth after something's ended, right? After the death card, you get the Judgment card, and it's almost like I was thinking it was the Sun card as well because of this. So it's the completion of something so that something new can begin. Got some really gorgeous cards coming through. Look at these as well. This is the Queen of Wands. Confident, ambitious, creative, magnetic. And then is this Judgment? I'm really getting this death and rebirth energy for you. It's so interesting. But I'm fascinated. Yeah, Judgment, renewal. If you want to make a drastic change in your life, find the courage to take a risk. Dusting off all dreams that you have abandoned. I'm just fascinated. I dreamt, I'm doing this on Monday, I've already done Libra's reading. Libra's reading's due up today for me on Monday. And I lost my cat, my black cat Bess, the other week after doing Capricorn's reading as well. It's like almost like, I don't know if there's this fear, this old-fashioned fear of like inviting death in by talking about death, which you know, people had around like Hades and Pluto. It's like he who must not be named, right? Because you didn't want to invoke the god of the underworld. He was not death. That was a role given to another person. But I don't know, it's not necessarily an energy that should be feared, because it is a transformation and a rebirth. So losing Bess physically has been really, really difficult, and I've been waiting to feel her again spiritually, which I think there's always a period between when somebody passes, like physically, like they pronounced dead, right? And there's like a transition period where they get used to it, is the way it feels to me, and then I start to feel their spirit coming in. So I don't always necessarily feel them immediately close by. Sometimes it can have it's like they get used to it, right? And then they come back in. So it happened with my mum, and it's happened with Bess as well, where they had this process of understanding what had happened to them, and now they're coming back in. So I had this dream about Bess last night, and I was feeling her energy really strongly last night. And before, as I was going to sleep, I was kind of seeing her, kind of when she fell off the bed and she was on the floor, and that kind of distressing moment for me, and really kind of going back to that traumatic moment and that distressing moment for myself, and feeling the grief of it, feeling the loss of it. And then I did have a dream of her where I'd found her again. And Libra's reading today, there's all this black cat that keeps coming through. I'm a Libra, so it's like now she's back. Obviously not physically, but spiritually. So perhaps there could be something about your energy at the moment, because it's coming through for you, and it's coming through for you consistently, like every week. This coming to terms with death, understanding death, perhaps rethinking what death is. Perhaps some of you have been very nihilistic. It's like when you die, that's it, your time's up. But perhaps that's changing for some of you. I don't know, it's just really fascinating. Okay. Coffee break, caps. Right, conversation's getting heavy. Let's drink some coffee. It's gonna be fine. Okay, it's not gonna be everybody's reading, right? Some of you are like, I'm fine. This is for the caps who are really going through it, I think. Yeah, fear. Moon, fear, deception, illusion. So you could have deceived yourself about a Two of Cups relationship. You thought this person was for you. There's this thing about them howling at the same moon. So yeah, because it's illusion, we'll clarify. It's going to be different for everybody. For some of you, having a relationship that you thought was right for you, and it turns out it wasn't right for you, right? Maybe opposites didn't attract. You know, these two energies couldn't come together properly, you know, circling each other, but never really uniting, because you deceived yourself about what this relationship was. Again, we will clarify further. Others, so yeah, leaving a relationship, looking at your options, because this wasn't what you'd tricked yourself to believe it was. Others of you, this is your Two of Cups. This is your person, right? Opposites do attract because of the two dogs howling at the same moon. And yet you could be keeping it secret. The moon card is a card about secrecy. Others of you, it's your Two of Cups, but you've got a lot of fear. You've been getting a lot of fear energy. There's fear attached to this. So again, we'll clarify. We'll figure that out a little bit. We'll dig a bit deeper on that one. Seven of Cups, please, for caps. Nine of Wands. The Wounded Warrior. Could be dating for some of you. Looking at your options, dating. Feeling like you've got this thing about like really feeling confused and overwhelmed, like with the maze. It's like not knowing how to get out of a situation, or not knowing how to navigate a situation. I'm kind of getting minefield, and feeling really tired, feeling like you have to keep picking yourself back up, dusting yourself off, you know, it's like keeping on fighting even though you're going through a period of confusion or not knowing who you can trust or not knowing what your options are. I'll kind of clarify again. Yeah, feeling very overwhelmed. What's Temperance, please? Yeah, I feel like, because that's being stabbed in the back, that's a betrayal. Somebody could feel betrayed by you. Somebody could feel stabbed in the back. Somebody could feel like there was an unfair ending to something. You feel like you're being temperate. You feel like you're being balanced, calm, patient, or learning to be. Some of you, this is after an ending, after somebody betrayed you, after you were really, really badly hurt and you had to close your heart, right, to protect yourself. You had to numb, you had to, it's like everything was so overwhelming and so painful, you had to numb in whatever way, that shape or form that took for you. You had to close off emotionally because it was just too painful to deal with in that moment. But it's like letting it back in, letting the water back in, letting the emotions back in, but taking your time with it, because you could be scared of being betrayed again. It doesn't have to be with the same person, it can be a different person. Like you were betrayed by somebody, so you're scared of opening up to the next person because what if they hurt you in the same way, right? What if they put you back to where you were before? There is healing happening here though. Somebody, again, we'll clarify, the death card isn't here in this section yet, but it could also be, because this can indicate ill health, this can indicate somebody who is physically fighting a battle. And then the Ten of Cups could also be, it's like the final blow. So it could be, and it's an ending. So it could be that this is actually a person who was ill for a long time. They really put up a good fight, but then, especially with the rainbow, it's like, and especially with some of the other cards that I'm seeing, right? Completion, the rainbow. Yeah, we'll pull more clarifiers. Or it's a situation that perhaps made you afraid. Again, this could be somebody that you're dealing with as well. So this is actually environmental energy. This is your energy. This is environmental. So somebody who's had a lot of fears or been facing the unknown in some sort of way. It's like they are passing through that gate, right? They are leaving. It's almost like somebody is leaving that maze. Like they've finally figured their way out of that maze. But they're tired, right? Because this has been a long battle. And a lot of confusion, a lot of fear. And then that situation's ended, right? They are out of that maze now. They escaped from that maze. What's success for Caps? What's this success about? The Six of Wands? What's the Six of Wands for Caps? So yeah, it feels like opening your heart up again, because this is the Page of Cups. It could be an apology. It could be an apology, like you've got your success, somebody apologized. You know, you've been waiting for that apology. But again, it feels like all these butterflies. It could be connected with a Gemini as well. This is Pisces energy, I should say. Leo, you've got Pisces, Sagittarius. So it could be a small gesture as well, like a small, I'm thinking about you, I'm here for you, like hearing from somebody, like it's like a small gesture of, a small emotional gesture, the Page of Cups, or somebody, like it's like a naivety or a learning energy of somebody starting something. So it's like somebody opening the heart again, somebody taking it slowly and making the small gestures, and it just has this kind of, again, it's like it's vulnerable, right? The wings are just opening. She's like she's releasing these butterflies as well. If you see, it's like she's opened her hand to release this energy to the world. So releasing this energy of transformation. So holding on to, it's almost like this energy, this Page of Cups is almost acting as the chrysalis. You know, she is acting as the protective container for this energy as it transforms. And she opens her hands and allows this energy to be free. And you feel successful about it. You feel a sense of achievement about it. You feel like people are cheering you on, or... And then what's the Ace of Pentacles? The Emperor. So this could be a father. And the Six of Pentacles. So making things right. So there could be somebody around you who is, again, it could be a father, it could be a boss, a CEO. This could be your own higher self. It could be a husband. And an energy of dividing things up equally. The Emperor's in a position to give. The Emperor is, you know, they're in charge, so they probably have control of the money. And the Six of Cups, sorry, the Six of Pentacles is a card about somebody who's in a position to give and somebody who is in a position to receive. So you can see she's giving, this little rat buddy here is receiving. So it's like dividing things to make, you can see that the scale is not equal. So it's dividing up the money to make something equal, dividing up the property to make something equal, dividing up the time to make something equal, right? It's like giving. So this person's giving something to make things right, it feels like, perhaps after an apology. So you could be receiving an apology from a father figure or a boss, and they are going to try and make things right. And one of those things that they're giving, because she's handing out pentacles, right, could be coming your way. So it is a rebalancing of the scales energy, and it's also kind of the energy of so it's like somebody may receive more money because historically or over time they've received less in other areas. So it could be something about like socio-economic things, like you know, like some communities don't receive as much funding from the government, so the government may now be doing like a reparation scheme where they're making things right and giving more money to those communities where they didn't historically receive as much. So it could be that somebody's deciding to do that and you're part of the receiving end because you've got the Ace of Pentacles, perhaps. Yeah, but this person's a hunter as well, which makes me very uncomfortable. It's one of the emperors that I really don't like. And what's he got here? So this looks like Africa. Kind of has a bit of a feeling of like empire and stuff, doesn't it? So take that if it resonates. The Emperor in the upright normally isn't bad. The Emperor in the upright is normally somebody who's in charge. They've got a lot of people who rely on them. They've got a lot of responsibilities. They're kind of like an overseer. They're all four kings of the tarot. So normally they're really very accomplished. They've worked hard to get to where they are. They're very knowledgeable. They're very passionate. They're very driven. You know, they really have had a lot of success because they've earned it. Normally with the Emperor in the upright, the Emperor in the reverse might be somebody who doesn't deserve it, right? They've just got the job because of who they knew. The Emperor in the upright normally deserves to be there. It's a very, very good high vibrational energy. I just don't like the depiction on this card. He does look a bit like is it Carrie something, the actor? He always kind of makes me think of him. Played Robin Hood, Princess Bride, you know. But yeah, I don't actually like the fact that he's a hunter. The fact that he carries those symbols of empire really makes me quite uncomfortable. Okay. Yeah, and it's like this Four of Wands as well. It's like the Four of Wands is like the tent pegs. It's the base of the tower. It's the foundations of something. It can be a celebration. It can be celebrating milestones. It can be celebrating achievements. It can be things like it carries a bit of like public celebration to it as well. So sometimes it could indicate like a funeral or a wake or a marriage or something like that. But it can also excuse me, it can also symbolize things like the home, or excuse me, I'm so sorry, like the home or the foundations of something. And it's like those foundations with this card, it's yeah, I don't know if somebody was part of some kind of, I was getting like, you know, like Skull and Bones and Masons and stuff last week. So I don't know if somebody's father was a member of some kind of cult, or like brotherhood or something. Don't know. I don't like it. I don't like that. I don't like that. So, okay, I'm gonna drink a bit more coffee and then we'll pull clarifiers. Your reading's a long one. I knew it was gonna be. Okay, I'm just thinking, like, I didn't want to do your reading, like. Oh, I knew this was gonna be. I knew this was gonna be one of those readings. So again, I don't know if you're avoiding something that's difficult. Obviously not everybody's dad was in a cult, that's ridiculous, but it could just be coming through for one person, or it could be something you're watching on TV, or it could be I don't know, symbolic of something. It could be some sort of metaphor for something. Okay, Two of Cups and the Moon. God, you said reading. Two of Cups and the Moon, please. Two of Cups and the Moon, the Hierophant, and the Ten of Wands in reverse. So Hierophant can symbolize marriage. It can symbolize God, higher wisdom, higher power, church. It's very traditional structures, often very patriarchal structures. Again, if your dad was part of some kind of brotherhood, it could be symbolizing that. It's kind of it can be like government or authority. It's like the people who make the rules, the people who make the traditions, the people who tell you how you should act in a society, right? So it can be a source of wisdom, it can be a source of guidance, it can be a source of comfort and knowledge, but it can also be a symbol of oppression. So it all depends, right? So it could be that with the Ten of Wands, it's, again, you've got the Nine of Wands here, which is like this wounded warrior energy, not giving up on something. And the Ten of Wands is normally coming to the finish line, reaching home, being able to put down all those burdens and baggage and responsibilities. But here it's like, I cannot drop these responsibilities. I cannot have this completion. I cannot, I have to carry these burdens a little bit longer. So it's, here with this Two of Cups and the Moon, it's you could be hiding just because you've got the Moon here as well. You could be, there could be some secrets in a partnership, or secrets in a marriage, or fears about marriage perhaps, or fear of a marriage ending, or fear of a formal situation ending in some sort of way. Fear of leaving, fear of going home, fear, because there's a home in the difference, fear of going home, fear of going home to something that symbolizes like your traditions, your culture, your inherited belief system, your, you know, the belief system or the education you've been raised with. It could be like a fear of going back to university or something, fear of completing a course. With the Two of Cups attached. So what is this specific Two of Cups? What's going on with this Two of Cups? What is this Two of Cups? The Emperor. Yeah, so it could be a relationship with your own father. Could be a relationship with God, right? Relationship with a husband. Relationship with your own self as a symbol of authority. Yeah, it's very patriarchal. The Hierophant and the Emperor, very, very patriarchal. So again, really could be your ancestors, your father, your patriarchal line. again, like it could be work, it could be your boss, right? Especially if you work in especially if you work in a university, or you work in something that symbolizes government, perhaps, or higher authority. If your father's on the other side, some of you are asking your father, your grandfather, in spirit form for advice. Some of you need to go and ask your, I mean, it's coming through as a good relationship. The Emperor is in the upright, and it's the Two of Cups. So it's like this person does get you, but you could have them on a pedestal, right? You could have them, whoever this person is for you, you could have them up on a pedestal. You could see them as higher than you. Like, I'm kind of seeing you as looking up to this person, and you see them as a symbol of wisdom and knowledge. And yet they're very different to you. Look at the black and white, right? The white owl, the black cat. And with the moon being like a half, the moon's full here, the moon's full here, but here it's like a half moon. Like, not being able to fully, like, maybe this person's very secretive, or you're keeping secrets from this person. It really has this energy of like I don't know, going back to the ancestral home and discovering secrets. Like it could be like your father or your grandfather passed away, so you have to go back to that house, right, and uncover all those secrets, like go through their things and see who they really were. And you might find things out that is like, why did they have this? Like, why, what does this mean, and there could be some like real fear about, because this is going home. Like, it's almost like the image that you'd normally see on the Ten of Wands. This could be the image on a Ten of Wands, because normally it depicts somebody who can like see the home in the distance. It's like they're nearly there. They've nearly reached that place. But here it's almost like the gate being shut, or like standing there and looking at it and thinking, I'm not ready to do this. And that Two of Cups is this Emperor. So the Seven of Cups and the Nine of Wands, please, for Caps. Is that reversed? Yeah. High Priestess in reverse. So really not trusting your intuition, really not or denying that part of yourself. Again, with this being like a crystal ball, it's like you or somebody around you perhaps has an innate ability to be very psychic, or perhaps you have an unusual belief system, because the Emperor and the Hierophant could symbolize a traditional belief system. So, for example, if you were the member of some kind of very popular religion, right? The religion that everybody you grew up with is part of. It's part of your society. It's part of the fabric of the way you were raised. And perhaps you have some kind of non-traditional or fringe unique belief system. For example, tarot, right? Doing tarot, a lot of people in traditional belief systems may find this to be witchcraft or the devil's work and things like that. It's not at all. It's just a divination tool, right? It's neither good or bad. It's how it's implemented and what you use it for. It's our own nature that makes it good or bad. And again, this could be something to do with the Two of Cups, right? And understanding this, you could take a traditional belief system. You could take like the church, right? You could take the Bible. You could take these traditional, the Quran. You could take these traditional, very patriarchal belief systems, and you could use them for good. You could use them as a symbol of hope. You could use them to help people heal, to help people overcome grief. You could help them to build a community that makes people feel connected and like they're part of something bigger. There's so many good things to say about traditional religions, and yet you do find people who abuse them. You find people who use them in government to control the population so that they can make themselves richer. You find them to normally it is about money. You find priests who do things that are horrific. You find all these examples of people who have, because they're human, because they're fallible, because they have a shadow side, they've used these symbols of of good and corrupted them and used them for their own means. You know, anything can be good or bad. It's not inherently good or bad. It's us as people and our actions and our choices that make something good or bad. So this symbolizes more because these are kind of like these are equivalent energies in the tarot. The Hierophant is those kind of traditional patriarchal societal belief systems, and the High Priestess is more if you think about old England, like old kind of or like England or Egypt or you know, Gaelic culture, those kind of more witchcrafty, more feminine religions, because this is the masculine version and this is the feminine version. Again, gender is very fluid, take it or leave it, right? There's women who are part of this system and there's men who are part of this system, but this symbolizes more like Wicca or more intuitive, earth-based, direct connection to the land and to nature, kind of like Gaia energy. So it's the more feminine version of being religious, and it's like neither one is good nor bad, and yet one is seen perhaps as higher or more recognized or more mainstream than others that may be seen as more fringe. Or again, if you look at history and why these patriarchal religions have flourished and who was in power, it tells you a lot, where these are more subtle, they're more secretive, they're more they survive even though they are oppressed. And again, one is not better than the other, it's just society sees one as better than the other. So again, you could have some innate psychic abilities that you have suppressed because you've been raised in a very patriarchal or traditional or a society that expects you to follow the mainstream, right? So you've hidden a part of yourself, or you are not using your intuition, your natural, which everybody has. Everybody has intuition. Everybody has latent psychic abilities. Everybody has this inner connection to God. And again, it could be seen as you know, if you want to look at Henry VIII and the Reformation of England and the transition of England from Catholicism to Protestantism, this was all about having the middleman, right? Having the priest and having the direct connection to God. So there's a lot of ways that it could play out. But this is like, with it being in reverse, it's like a denial of this part of yourself, or a refusal to acknowledge these parts of culture, these parts of our society, these parts of our history that celebrate the feminine and see the feminine as equal. You know, really, this is what this is. You know, really, this is what this is, or what this should be. And neither what, like the cat should not be lower than the owl, right? It's a symbiotic relationship of yin yang and two energies that should be equivalent, right? They should work together. And yet there's something about the Hierophant being higher and the High Priestess being lower. So I don't know who you see yourself as, but there's definitely something about divination, things being overwhelming, things feeling like a burden. And I want to say it's through no fault of the High Priestess. The High Priestess is doing what comes naturally to her. She's doing what she is, her natural latent ability, right? Which is neither good nor bad. But perhaps it's been oppressed or hidden or forced into the shadows, which could feel very burdensome. What's Temperance and the Ten of Swords, please? Wheel of Fortune. There's that cat again. I told you at the start of the reading, I was saying about Libra's reading about this black cat coming through and being my cat, Bess. You know, she looks just like this. And now you've got this black cat 3 times, and they're not all cats. Like if you look through, you've got crows, you've got horses, you've got wolves, you've got like all these different animals in this deck. And yeah, the cats are coming out, and the cats came out for Libra, and they're coming out for you. Wheel of Fortune, again, using a you know, a witch's tool, you know, a divination tool, a Ouija board. I do not use a Ouija board and would not go anywhere near one. But it's just, it's a way that people receive messages, right? It's funny that there's an Ouija board in this as well, this stack too. So you could get there, look as well, right underneath, whatever that is. So it feels like somebody, a structure, a government, a family, a father, on the surface, playing this role of, here comes the beep beep truck. It's not even Thursday. We don't normally have a beep beep truck on Mondays, and yet here it is, Capricorns. Tradition, right? As I'm talking about tradition. So on the surface, like the face of it, being the person that like society expects you to be, but under the surface, like hidden away behind closed doors in this kind of secret society, is the use of these non-traditional divination tools. Let's use a non-traditional, don't use Ouija boards, but do use Scrabble tiles. So what's going on here? Give me some letters so that the person watching can have confirmation or knowledge. Oh, again, secrecy. It can be whatever you want it to be. H. I lit. I was like, it'd be funny if it said I love, or I like, or I lie. I lit. You lit what? What did you light? I lit, these fell out. I didn't pick these out, so I don't know what they are, but I lit, I lit a bar. I lit a bar. All tangled up. I don't know. I don't know. What did you like? I don't know. Take it if it resonates, leave it if it doesn't. I think the plumbers are here to fill in my massive hole. I've had some plumbing work done and they had to dig up like the entire street, and they left a big open hole because they went through the mains. So I think they're here actually now to fill in the hole. So I may have to bob out if they knock on, perhaps. Okay, so the Six of Wands and the Page of Cups. Six of Wands and the Page of Cups. Four of Pentacles. So no longer blocking this, no longer blocking your own intuition, no longer blocking an apology and having success because of this. It could also be no longer clinging to what you have, no longer holding on to tangible things, because this is Taurian energy. It's a symbol of holding too tightly, or it can be saving money, it can be a block, it can be a shield, but it's like no longer blocking this, no longer holding too tightly onto something. All right, let's go back. Temperance, Ten of Swords, and the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune in the upright. There is a cycle change coming in. You've got so much symbolism of some kind of transformation, some kind of cycle change, right? Something completing so that something new can begin. So something is ending. You could feel like you've been stabbed in the back, but it's almost like the universe is here. This is good karma. This is a transformation of something. So be patient. Again, temperance is alchemy. It's taking two energies and mixing them together to create something new. So something's ending and something's transforming, which is bringing you success. making you feel unstuck and allowing you to be more free. And what is the Ace of Pentacles, the Emperor, and the Six of Pentacles? The Four of Cups. So you've got all these fours. Four of Cups, don't miss out on an opportunity. You may feel like there's missed opportunities. You may feel like there's missed opportunities with your father, or with whatever this traditional, whatever the Emperor represents for you. You could feel like there's been missed opportunities here. Perhaps to make things right, or like, don't miss an opportunity. If money's coming your way, don't say no, or be aware of that, or something like that. What's the Emperor? Why is the Emperor here? Why is the Emperor here? What's the Emperor for Caps? The Ace of Pentacles. Is something coming your way? Again, it could be a job offer. It could be money coming your way, a resource coming your way. But there's something new and tangible coming your way connected to this Emperor energy. It feels like, again, making something right. Okay, advice please for Caps. I might go and see what those plums are up to. I probably have to put on better pants. I've got like my little shorts on that I slept in. Oh, my favourite, Archangel Michael. This is the kids are all right. You know, the kids are protected. He's a guardian angel, right? Archangel Michael. He's a protector. He's a defender. He's he comes in with guardian and protection energy. Yeah, a good energy to show up in your reading, especially if you've been going through tough times. Bit of a favourite of tarot card readers as well. When I first woke up, when I had my spiritual awakening, when I started to receive psychic messages and trust my intuition and really feel like the universe was here for me, it was Archangel Michael who, and again, I don't know if it's literally Archangel Michael, but it's how I identified the energy, right? It's you've got to give things names. You've got to be able to make something understandable. And this was the energy that came in. It would touch my hand when I first started to wake up. So yeah, I think a lot of psychics and intuitive readers have a strong affinity with Michael. Hold on, I think that might be the plumbers. Definitely the plumbers, but they've not knocked on yet, so I'll just close out the reading before I go and see what's happening. Okay, so yeah. The Archangel Michael is a channel of divine power. He is seen here sharing his energy with two small children, bringing them great strength and support. He is about to pick up the boy. He can help you lift your energy too. When you receive this card, know that your energy reflects Michael's amazing strength. This can be a cycle of increasing power for you, one where you feel your courage growing and you know what action to take next. Trust your convictions, your power, and your resourcefulness. Michael upright heralds a time of greater courage, force, initiative, and action, so don't delay. He's right there with you, so tap into the dynamo within you and take the action that compels you. With Michael and your own power, you can move mountains and lift yourself to new heights. Close your eyes and sense Archangel Michael's approach. Begin to feel the force of your own courage and strength grow within you, making you ready to take action with confidence and peace. Feel the power that fills every part of you now. Interesting that we've got a really traditional... Perhaps you are moving back to traditional energies in your life and away from energies like this, right? Energies like me. So yeah, you could be going back to very, very traditional, grounded, societal, I don't know. You know what it is, right? It's your reading. Do take care of yourselves. Whatever you're deciding to do, please do take care of yourselves. I do feel like you've got your angels, your ancestors around you at this time. I do feel like your kids are protected, and you can ask the angels to come in and protect your children if that is something that you wish to do. If you don't believe in the traditional archangels, perhaps you have your own deities that you could call upon and ask to be present. And yeah, I see it as all one thing, right? I'm unity consciousness, so to me, I know the energy, and the name and the stories we tell about those energies differ from community to community, but the energy is the same. It's all part of one big thing, and then the humans turn it into something that they can understand, and sometimes that looks like this, and sometimes that looks like this, right? But it's all the same thing. It's all the same thing. It's energy. It's not the stories we tell about that energy. The stories we tell are just the stories we tell. It's just the mythos, right? And the energy itself exists beyond what we can comprehend. So yeah, more of this, I think, for me personally. But whatever floats your boat. Do take care of yourselves, and I will see you again soon. Bye, friends.